Just when you think we're done getting news and updates for Spider-Man Brand New Day, they really said, man, you know, I think we ain't done yet. He goes 6 more for you. Because we just got a whole bunch of insane new updates that give us even more details on what the story could be about. I'm talking Scorpion as the main villain, Punisher getting an upgrade, and a little hint and tease that we could potentially be seeing the Venom symbiote. And you know me, when I get a little bit of crumbs,
gossip, rumors, panic in the streets. We're lucky.
I'm gonna give you a 5-star meal. But either way, me and you know what we gotta do. We gotta talk about it. First things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. But for real, thanks to industry insider Daniel RPK and Scorpion actor himself, Michael Mando, but we'll get to that later. We got a whole bunch of new details and breadcrumbs on the story for Spider-Man Brand New Day. One of those details being that Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to be a lot darker in tone. It'll be very similar to The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which honestly I don't think is that dark. I think The Amazing Spider-Man 1 is darker. Or Kraven's Last Hunt storyline from the comics, which yeah, is very fucking dark. Now, this is something that I love to hear because I've been saying ever since No Way Home ended that I hope Spider-Man Brand New Day, Spider-Man 4 at the time, keeps the same tone from the moment that he gets his spider sense in No Way Home. If not, getting even more mature. And the fact that we have the Punisher in this bit pretty much confirms that the Spider-Man franchise is finally growing up with their audience. And the fact that we have the director of Shang-Chi, Short Term 12, and Just Mercy and Destin Daniel Cretton himself, I got no doubt in my mind that he's about to cook. If this be his destiny. But on top of that information, Daniel RPK also gave us little details on what Zendaya's role in Spider-Man Brand New Day could be, since we know that she's going to be in the film. One thing being that she's not going to be filming any scenes in Glasgow, so she's not going to be a part of that big action set piece. But 2, she does play an important and significant role in the film despite her not having a lot of screen time. And the screen time thing makes a whole lot of sense because we know that Sadie Sink is going to be playing the new love interest for Peter, so she's obviously going to be taking up some of that screen time. Oh yeah, and in case you need keeping up with, my theory seems to be coming true. She's going to be playing a version of Carly Cooper, a forensic scientist for the NYPD, but with a twist. And if you've been on my page before, you already know how I want the MJ scenes in Brand New Day to play out, with Peter just serving as a guardian angel over her. Similar to this scene in TASM 2. Nothing more, nothing less. If I had to guess, she most likely becomes a target at some point, and Peter's got to stop that person from targeting her. But regardless, we swing on over to the next piece of news, which gives us some more details on the fact that Frank Castle's Punisher is going to be getting some upgrades in this movie, and all I gotta say is
I like order. Hell, I love it.
Because apparently he's gonna have tools that's gonna allow him to take on bigger threats, a tank and advanced technology. So it sounds like they're gonna somewhat make him like the 90s animated Spider-Man version of Punisher, where this motherfucker got a whole bunch of new tech. I wonder if that means we could see Micromaker return in the MCU. I doubt it, because here's the thing. But also, you're telling me that Frank's gonna be in the tank? Frank the Tank. Frank the Tank. Now, mind you, the other day we got an image of a tank that we all assumed was the Inner Demon Gang, and I don't like where my brain is going, but if Punisher is in this tank, does that mean what I think it's gonna mean after the Punisher special presentation? With all these dirty cops using his logo? Does that mean he's changing his logo? No. Wait. Is that what Kevin Feige means by Punisher will be different? Fuck no, it better not mean that. I think what Kevin was alluding to was the fact that he was obviously not going to be R-rated, and that he's also going to have new tech advancements. So I'm hoping and praying he steals this tank from the Inner Demon Gang. But regardless, sadly, I don't think he's going to be the Punisher War Machine, because y'all are telling me you want another Iron Man character in a Spider-Man movie. But also, this would feel like it would undercut Rhodey. Let that man have Armor Wars to himself. Even though I do kind of need this in the future at some point in time. But moving on to what I think is the most interesting bit of news, and that's the fact that Michael Mando's Scorpion will reportedly have a significant role in Spider-Man Brand New Day. And thank God, because I know I'm not the only one that as soon as we found out that Michael Mando, Nacho from Better Call Saul, was going to be playing Scorpion in the MCU, I was like, oh my God, that's elite casting. But sadly, it's been 8 years since his post-credit scene, but now we're finally not going to have to see those dumbass MCU post-credit scenes that went nowhere tweets. But what could this significant role actually be? I got a few ideas, and some of them are thanks to the fact that Michael Mando has been more active on social media. More on this in a second, but we got to start off with a quick bio on Scorpion, who made his first appearance in The Amazing Spider-Man number 20 back in 1965, and in his debut, Matt Gargan was a private investigator hired by J. Jonah Jameson to spy on Peter Parker, who was taking pictures for Spider-Man at the time, to obviously get some more information. But that's when JJJ decided to take a step further, and with the help of Dr. Stillwell, Matt Gargan agreed to undergo an experiment that turned him into the Scorpion to be able to go toe-to-toe with Spider-Man. But this experiment causes him to lose his mind a little bit, become a criminal as Scorpion, and blame JJJ for the fact that he is stuck in this suit. And at least to my mind's eye, whenever I think of Scorpion, I gotta think of JJJ, because just as much as he is a Spider-Man villain, he is a JJJ villain, which has been adapted in most Spider-Man media, like the 90s animated series and video game. And if they wanted to, they could definitely go this route. That would be an interesting way to get J.K. Simmons more involved as J. Jonah Jameson, by having him be the one who secretly funds whatever experiments and upgrades that Matt Gargan is going through. That's definitely one option. Although your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man just gave them the perfect blueprint on how to adapt Scorpion in the MCU. And I'm letting y'all know right now, if they give him even half the amount of ore and they got him moving like this version of Scorpion, it's peak. Now, in this interpretation, he's a gang leader who, thanks to Dr. Otto Octavius,
nothing will stand in our way. Nothing!
creates his scorpion suit, but now this is the interesting part, that is powered by Gamma. I think the MCU is definitely going to be taking elements from your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man and have his scorpion suit powered by Gamma. There's probably more Gamma powered weapons, and who's your foremost expert on Gamma related topics? And as for what the scorpion suit looks like, I wouldn't mind a classic look. There's been various interpretations of the scorpion suit, and honestly, I wouldn't be mad if they just made it the same one as your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, because to me, like I said, this shit is fire. If Mr. Negative is in this movie, they could replace JJJ with Mr. Negative, because we know Mr. Negative experimented on Hammerhead in the comic, so that could be a fun little way that they kind of tie this all together. But now let's get on to Michael Mando's social media posts, because they were interesting. So obviously here he made a post that just says Sting, hashtag Spider-Man, getting his little scorpion tattoo again. But then he started posting things to his story, like this action figure of a classic Scorpion costume. So this obviously alludes to the fact that he's probably going to be wearing the classic Scorpion suit, which I love. And then he posted this image of Scorpion behind Matt Gargan's version of Venom. Now, what I most likely think this is just the fact that he just Googled like Scorpion classic suit, and this was one of the images, so he posted it. That's why Venom's kind of cut off. But the fact that Matt Gargan ends up becoming Venom brings up a very interesting plot that I think the MCU is going to follow through on. That requires a quick history lesson. So yes, in case you don't know, at one point in time in the comics, Matt Gargan becomes Venom as a member of Norman Osborn's Dark Avengers / Thunderbolts. And as a matter of fact, during the Brand New Day era and Amazing Spider-Man 570 to be exact, and New Ways to Die, this is also the first time that we see Eddie Brock as anti-Venom, thanks to Mr. Negative accidentally turning him into anti-Venom. And him and Spider-Man team up to take down Venom's Gargan. But this is something that I thought could be an option ever since No Way Home. Because if you think about it, Matt Gargan right now has the same motivations that Eddie Brock does. He fucking hates Spider-Man because he did this. I'm sorry, but if a 15-year-old kid whips me full horizontal to make me look like I'm back in the fetus, you call up Child Protective Services, because I'm beating this motherfucker's ass. Because we still do have that sliver of the symbiote in the MCU. As badly as Venom The Last Dance tried to retcon this in their own universe, I think the Tom Hardy Venom teaming up with Tom Holland Spider-Man dream is dead. And something very interesting that could happen in Spider-Man Brand New Day that would work thematically is that at some point in time he gets a symbiote, maybe in the third act, which allows him to beat Scorpion, who I think is going to kick his ass the first time they meet. Side note, can we have this final fight on a bridge? I've always had an image in my mind of Scorpion versus Spider-Man on a bridge. That shit would be fire. But you know, that would just fuel Gargan to have an even bigger hatred when he gets locked up again at the end of this movie. Then Peter would have the symbiote for Doomsday Secret Wars, and thanks to Reed Richards and the Fantastic Four, he becomes Bagman for a quick second, and that ultimately leads to Gargan getting the symbiote suit. And shit, if he's locked up, they could do the thing where it gives off an offspring and you get introduced to Carnage too. I'm just saying, the possibilities are endless. And while I don't think we're gonna actually see a Venom, we might not even see the symbiote in Brand New Day, they're definitely gonna be planting the seeds towards that for the future. But yeah, that's all the new, man, I just love Spider-Man so much, bro. Every time I get to talking about it, my brain just goes off the rails. And I hope you've been having a good time watching all my videos, and if you stayed here, 1, comment W attention span, and 2, I'm happy to be alive. But either way, that's all the new news and updates we got for Spider-Man Brand New Day. My thoughts, theories, and opinions. Let me know what you think about them down in the comments below, and as always, like and follow. Vamos!